Story time. In this episode, I delve into a chilling reality that many individuals face: the abrupt ending or termination of a relationship fraught with multiple betrayals. But the story doesn't end there. Exploring the dark aftermath where victims of emotional abuse find themselves targeted even post-separation by the very person who is meant to protect and love them, including how legal professionals can sometimes unintentionally exacerbate the ordeal. Join us as we shed light on the harrowing journey and offer insights for understanding and coping with the complexities of post-relationship trauma. I have not warned his new supply. She has likely been warned that I am crazy, like he warned me that his ex-wife was crazy, and the wife, mother of his children before that, was also frigid and like a bank lady who bought clothes from charity shops. The new supply was a girlfriend he lived with 41 years ago. She was his teenage sweetheart. He threw her out of his life because she cheated on him. He met her online in June during COVID restrictions 2020, via Facebook apparently. They met in August. I was discarded on the 27th, 2 days after he returned to our home in Spain. He moved into her UK home on the 24th of September, proposed during November. Posted images of the two of them on the beach. He was 64 years and she was 61. He said he had plighted his troth. They married in May 2021. Now I think he has got his karma. They both posted living happily ever after on their profiles. Meanwhile, he had left me living in Spain, promised me financial security in retirement, but at the same time, a few days later, threatened I could be thrown out onto the streets. He was in control. I do as he says, ranting at me, because I wasn't behaving as he requested, which, when I questioned him, "What is behave as you requested?" he replied, "Respect him, respect his property." On October 5th, I received his email. He was going to start court action to have me forcibly removed via precarious eviction. That's when I realised I was likely dealing with a narcissist. We are never 100% sure without a diagnosis, but the lies, gaslighting and manipulation in his email communications were now blaming me for everything. I did actually blame myself. When I started to watch videos and read up on NPD and narcissistic abusive behaviour, a lot of pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. Shock, horror. I came to the realisation I had unwittingly caused him narcissistic injury at the termination of our relationship. I had bruised his ego. He was losing control of his primary supply, even though he discarded me. I had told him I had vowed to myself that it would be over if he ever cheated on me again. His discard speech was brutal. Just 4 sentences. "I've got something to tell you. I'm in love with another woman. We can remain friends if you want to remain friends. We just can't have sex anymore." How strange that he decided sex was not part of remaining friends when he had led a double life or a triple lifestyle throughout our relationship that I only discovered post-separation. He had confessed to another woman in December 2017. He carried on what I thought was an affair. I put it down to a midlife crisis. This was a devaluation tactic to hurt me emotionally and maybe even cause me to do a reverse discard and end it. He did cause me psychological distress and physical illness as I suffered anxiety panic attacks and stomach cramps. I didn't end it, mainly because I thought I was in love with him. Maybe just a trauma bond. So I asked if he still wanted me in his life. He said he did still want me. He was still working for our future, in our home. He would rather be with me in our Spanish home, so I stayed and fought to get him to end the affair with the other woman that he had referred to as his Wednesday girl. Post-separation, I reached out to the other woman. I discovered from her that the relationship had started in August 2009, a few months after I had met him in March. The relationship had been going on behind my back for 8 years. By October the 17th of 2020, I had received legal advice to file a gender violence complaint against the ex. After I presented the email and the recorded meeting that was meant to be a discussion, but turned into a one-sided, verbally abusive, intimidating and threatening verbal onslaught by him, I was shocked by the advice and asked the solicitor if he could write on my behalf to his solicitor. I was told, "Did you not hear what he said? You cannot negotiate with him." The solicitor repeated his advice to file a gender violence complaint. As an unmarried foreign English woman in Spain, I had been informed by the solicitor of my ex-partner that I had no rights. I had tried to request cooperation or negotiations through this solicitor. He just poured fuel onto the flames. After his email, which threatened me to be careful of making a gender violence complaint and informed me that in time a judge would order me to leave, I made the gender violence complaint. I was in complete shock, grief and trauma back then. I remember after reading the email, feeling so devastated, I didn't trust myself while I was alone. I called the Samaritans helpline and spoke to someone for nearly an hour. Now I realise I made a huge mistake. I thought solicitors were to help make things better, not worse. I communicated the advice I had been given to the enemy solicitor. I never ever thought I would be in the Spanish criminal court as a victim of gender violence. At the end of the hearing, I was told that the case was being left open and that if anything else happened, to call the police. I had no clue what was going on. By January 2021, I started to recover and felt better in myself, despite the threats of eviction and financial devastation and being left with nothing. Then his ex-wife reached out in Facebook messages, and that's when I discovered from her that they did not end their sexual relationship. Even after they had been divorced, they continued meeting for years until she got married again. What type of man had I been in a relationship with? To all the unmarried couples out there in long-term relationships, we need to talk about a very important issue that affects the lives of countless individuals. Narcissists who abruptly terminate relationships or discard long-term partners can leave you emotionally and financially devastated, and it's crucial that we raise awareness and protect ourselves from this toxic behaviour. Narcissists are masters at manipulation and control. They can sweep you off your feet with charm and affection, only to abruptly end the relationship when it no longer serves their needs. In non-married situations, they can walk away without any legal obligations, leaving you to pick up the pieces emotionally and financially. What's worse, some narcissists will go to great lengths to use legal loopholes to further damage their ex-partners. They may take legal action against you, making an already painful situation even more distressing. This is my call to action for all women to stand up, protect yourselves, and raise awareness about this issue. Here's what you can do. Educate yourself. Learn about the red flags of narcissistic behaviour and recognise the signs early on. Knowledge is your best defence. Seek support. Reach out to friends, family and support groups who can provide emotional support during difficult times. consult with legal experts. If you find yourself in a situation where a narcissist is taking legal action against you, consult with legal experts who can help you navigate the system and protect your rights. Share your story. Speaking out about your experience can empower others and help them avoid falling into the same traps. Let's spread the word, support one another, and stand up against narcissistic abuse. We must unite to protect ourselves and our fellow women from emotional and financial devastation at the hands of those who refuse to take responsibility for their actions. Your safety and well-being matter, and together we can make a difference.